Hey, good morning, you guys. Good morning, you guys. Listen, y'all know I just got up. I just got up, took a shower because I got to get out. But I decided to get on like I did yesterday. I know I have to get on early when my work and stuff pick up. And I'll probably be doing this, getting on early for about another 2 months because I'm kind of booked up for 2 months. So I'm gonna wait and start letting you all get. Hey, ZK, ZK, you up early with me? I see you. I see you, girl. I'm tired. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all know I can't sing. Oh, I guess I need to make me some coffee. It's kind of chilly. Hold on, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Okay, who do I see up in here? I see ZK, Tyranny, Shan, Kimberly. Hey Shan, did you get that? Did you get that? I sent you something. Um, Lynn, Mr. Parker, Joy Loves God, Zeke, Leo, Jay, Too Good Jones, Clarinetta, the Black Barbie. Did I say Mr. Parker, Nakia Baker, Ken? Did I say J Rail? So I'm just gonna wait for more people to start coming in before we get started. I know it's early, but I have to get up and get on here early because I gotta get out and work. Hey, Nene Loyal, Dub JJ, Kimberly. I'm just waiting for other people to start coming in. Salute to everybody that's up early. I know you all are more than likely up getting ready to go to work. I am. What's up, Big Pink? Miss T, I be having questions, but I'm scared to ask or call in. No, go ahead and ask. Go ahead. Go ahead and ask your questions, love. I'm glad I can peek in for a few, get myself ready for work. Yeah, I know people are up getting ready for work, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm up getting ready to get out, but I decided to get on. I need to go ahead and make me some coffee. Um, while I'm waiting for you all to get on, I was looking at hey Sunshine, Miss Butterfly. I was looking at the news, and as I was looking at the news, I saw where they had Block Boy JB in the news. Okay, they had Block Boy JB in the news. We're gonna talk about that in a few minutes. Just giving some more. Hey, Joe loves my three. Some more people, some time coming. Y'all, when it starts to get cold, I don't be feeling it's chilly this morning. Now I'm sure the weather is gonna go up, which is a good thing. But the temperature, I mean, I'd like for the temperature to be around 70 something. Yeah, I'd like for the temperature to be around 70 something. What was that? Oh, my cousin out there to cut my grass. He bees up early. That's a hustling dude, I'm telling you. Um, Ken says just getting off work. Sharon Webster. Okay. I want us to talk about Black Boy JB. Okay, I'm gonna pull that up right quick. Now I hear people talk about Black Boy JB. I don't know who Black Boy JB signed to. I don't. Oh, is he signed to CMG? I didn't know that. Mr. Parker said he loves fall. I don't. I love the springtime. The spring and the summer cool until it gets too hot. But I don't like fall and winter. I be lazy. What's up, Cypress? Okay. It says rapper dozes off at busy intersection with loaded weapons in lap. THP says. It says the Tennessee Highway Patrol says a driver who had a revoked driver's license due to a DUI dozed off in an intersection along North Germantown Tuesday morning with his foot on the brake and a gun on his lap. The Tennessee Highway Patrol says James Lee Baker, 28, also had drugs in his car and is facing several charges, including possession of marijuana and being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm. Baker is a rapper who goes by the stage name Block Boy JB and has over 2 million followers on Instagram. A trooper said he approached Baker's Mazda SUV at North Germantown Parkway and Chickering Lane after seeing it sit there through two full traffic signal cycles. It says the trooper said Baker was also asleep at the wheel with his vehicle in drive, and he had a loaded Glock and a bag of marijuana on his lap. He said Baker's SUV was blocking the northbound traffic flow in the middle lane. Baker has a lengthy criminal history in Shelby County. According to the affidavit of complaint, Baker has his license revoked in 2019 for DUI of drugs or alcohol, and in 2020 was convicted of manufacturing and selling a controlled substance. He was sentenced to 1 day in jail. According to the affidavit complaint, Baker's last known address was in Las Vegas. Baker is also facing charges of driving with a revoked license and obstruction of a highway. He is scheduled to appear in court on Wednesday. Okay. Y'all, I don't really know what these people sit on, but somebody was saying Block Boy JB at one time was signed to CMG. I didn't know who he was signed to because they did say a rapper. They didn't say what label he was signed to, but he done fell asleep. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. One day I went to visit my mother, and it was this guy sitting at the stop sign. I promise you, when I saw him at the I saw him at the stop sign, and he was just sitting there, okay, with his head back. And when I first saw him, I thought that he just had his head back, right? So I went to my mama's house. I came back through there. He was still with his head back, with his mouth open. I said, "Oh Lord, that young man might be. I hope he ain't croaked out. I hope he ain't, dead." And so then, because I came back through there, went to the store, I came back. They he was still sitting at that stop sign. And the thing about it was the right side of his door, I mean his driver's door was open. So I was like, if there was another car that had stopped, I was like, I think that young man is dead. I need to go on and call the police. And just as I got ready to call the police, another car stopped. All of a sudden, his head rose up like the exorcist, and he grabbed his driver's side door and slammed it and put his foot on the gas. Okay, I mean all the way on the gas, went all the way um out to Craft Road. I mean, just all the way out to Craft Road, um, which is a little narrow road that runs, across where my mom lives, and didn't stop at the stop sign or nothing. It just went all the way out to Craft. So I said, Lord, yes, he was CMG, but once he signed him, it was like he just let him sit and stew. The last year, hold on. Last year he would go live saying the label wouldn't let him put out music. He was trying to leave CMG. Y'all know what's something else I saw, and I kind of screenshot it. Let me see, I saw Big 30 the other day. Shit, my phones stay dead. The other day I saw Big 30 was posting, they wouldn't let him put his music out. He was like, just let me put out my hey. He was like, just let me put out my music. So Big 30 is kind of disgruntled about something. I guess them not letting him put out his music. I've been told y'all now, if they don't, they gonna Big 30 money bag them better go and let Big 30 put his music out. I'm gonna tell you, because I feel like the same way that they did Straight Drop, that money bag and them, they was dealing with him, and then after he did what they wanted him to do, Moneybag wanted to disassociate himself. I think that's one of the reasons why Big 30 was so angry. As I always told y'all, those who have been here with me from the very start, I always told y'all that Moneybag has never passed the smell test, right? And it goes back to, I keep bringing up what Mr. Ian said in his interview, which is a record exec, because his interview was loaded. His interview was loaded, and he basically told the beginnings of them trying to put a hit on Young Dog. And people say, well, why you talk about it so much? Because it needs to be talked about. I grew up. I was born and raised in Memphis. So you start talking about these little dudes growing up in Memphis and seeing, being able to witness like the very beginning of a lot of these rappers' careers, like Yo Gotti and all of them. I mean, the hoods love Yo Gotti when he first started coming up. He was more so my era, right? Young Dolph came after Yo Gotti, just like every artist has their time. So when you start talking about putting hits on rappers and stuff, I mean, that needs to be talked about to the point where no other CEO or rapper ever feels comfortable enough to feel like that they can take out another rapper. It ain't no reason for Yo Gotti them to ever have been plotting on another rapper that was from their, especially their city. When Yo Gotti and 3 6 Mafia, okay, and I grew up around DJ Paul in them, okay, DJ Paul and Ricky. I didn't know um Juicy J and them. I didn't. They were from North Memphis. Paul and them were in White Haven, lived in Twinkletown, okay. Paul and Ricky was his nephew. Um, I forget his name. Infamous Lord. So I mean, when they were into it, you didn't see Paul and them. You didn't see Yo Gotti and Paul and them knocking each other down. So that's why when people say, and that's what I mean, there's always been a North Memphis South Memphis war. It happens. There's always been North Memphis rapper, South Memphis rapper competition, but I'm telling you, I ain't never seen in my era the North Memphis and South Memphis rappers killing each other. It did not happen. Okay, it didn't happen. So even when they were going back and forth with each other, they was getting money then. They was just getting money off of kind of talking about each other. So that's why I say it never should have happened. And I think what's kind of disappointing to me is that I have not seen um and he said plenty of fights there. And you have to understand, like Memphis is not that big. So if you're growing up in South Memphis, you got a auntie or a uncle, and your cousins and them probably live in North Memphis. So that's why people are so familiar with the hoods, because they have family and stuff all over the city in different hoods. So that's why, what's so disappointing to me is I'm not seeing, and I know you hear a lot of rappers say, well, men don't get into that. Ain't nobody gonna talk about that. No, these rappers got to have more responsibility, okay, to the people that is supporting them. That what happened to Young Dolph needs to be frowned up on and talked about. That it never should have happened. These rappers who have these audiences, they should be putting that stuff into the atmosphere, because it ain't no way a rapper should be losing his life in his own city, especially when he was back in his city to help his city. And nobody says nothing. Nobody says, well, that's wrong because, well, I met with God in them. Well, damn all that. You can mess with God in them, but what happened was wrong. When are people gonna stand on what's on the side of what's right? And then they'll say, well, a woman shouldn't be saying nothing. No, I ain't the one that should be saying anything. These dudes are supposed to be, men are supposed to be leading their communities. Men are supposed to be leading their communities. But it seems like it's asshole backwards. The women's supposed to be supporting them as they lead. So you right. I ain't supposed to be the one saying nothing. I come out of Memphis. I grew up in South Memphis. I ain't supposed to be the one saying it. I'm supposed to be the one being supportive of the men that's pushing. It can't be another goddamn rapper that get it out the mud, that's supporting this city that's impoverished, and somebody knocking down. See, that's the reason why I always talk about it has to be some repercussions, because it ain't no repercussions in our community for taking out our leaders. Young Dolph can be considered a leader. Anytime somebody is giving back, I even say a prophet, and people say, he ain't no prophet, he no God. No, he ain't. But according to what I read in the Bible, a prophet comes to share a word, to give confirmation, to open the eyes of the people. What was Young Dolph doing? Opening the eyes of these little young dudes, because the record labels are helping them raw. So you got these black dudes. Memphis has an acquired sound. All people have always stolen our the swag of these boys. They talented. They got their own slang. Just all of that. I know a Memphian from when I go somewhere, even though Mississippi and Arkansas are similar to Memphis. The slang is still the sound is a little different. So when I go anywhere and I hear Memphians, I go, that's a Memphian. Just how we pronounce words and stuff. Everybody knows when somebody comes from their city, right? So these dudes are out here, right, without being Diddy. These dudes are out here. Young Dolph came to try and help these dudes, because as if they had left him alone, they would make sure they was hitting at him. So because remember, he said, I was just gonna go ahead and give rap up. And he said the little dudes was calling him, they was mad at him, because he said, I was just getting ready to give it up, because they was trying to kill the man so much. I think he thought about, I got my family, I'll just go on. Remember, he said, I made $6 million, paid $6 million 2 times in another investment to make me a billionaire. And he said the little dudes who calling him was upset because they were depending on him to show him the game. That was that man's passion. That's the reason why he came back. You mean to tell me there ain't no repercussions? Ain't nobody mad about somebody who was teaching them? These record companies don't create no generational wealth. They don't talk about no generational wealth. All they want to do is pull on your tail and like a pony. They want to make you famous. Oh, you gonna get all the bitches. You gonna get all the fame, and then you broke, busted, and disgusted. Who in the hell wants some fame if you still got to go back to the projects? Okay, so they ain't teaching no generational wealth. So you get somebody like Young Dolph that's doing that, that's trying to open the eyes of these young dudes, and y'all mean to tell me y'all ain't gonna let somebody knock him down? And ain't nobody saying nothing. Oh, well, I like your God music. Your God ain't never gave nothing back to Memphis. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I ain't never seen them give nothing back. And y'all let them, y'all can't stand on the side of what's right. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I don't like fence straddlers. Okay, I always say this. I don't like people that straddle the fence. Even in my real life, I don't deal with them. People that want to sit on the fence all the time, I don't deal with them. They sit on the fence so much they have splendors up their ass. Okay, I don't even know how they even walk with all them splendors. So what I always do is that's why I'm a loner. I always push them over to the other side. Okay, okay. I tell you what, it ain't no problem. I ain't got no issues with you, but I'm pushing you over to the other side because I can't have you gonna stand on the side of what's right. If I ain't right, you ain't even gotta stand on my side. Stand on the other side, but make a decision. If you want, if hey, but you can't sit on that fence because I can't have you sitting on no fence. You're gonna make a decision. Because people that sit on the fence are the ones that's getting people messed over. They're getting them killed. Okay. He says, I saw JB coming home from work, but I didn't know it was him about 5 in the morning. Well, he was sleepy. He fell asleep with that thing in his lap. He said JB was coming home from work. So he fell asleep with that thing in his lap. You know, I've heard people mention Blog Boy JB's name. I didn't know what label he was with. I ain't never heard him say nothing bad or anything. I don't know his music or nothing, but I saw what the news had put that he was, they knew he was a rapper. Okay. So it's just really surprising to me that when you stand on the side of what's right, that what if I say that they was wrong for what they did to him, I might not eat. I might not get a seat at the table, you know. She says, I can't stand side my people either way, either you one way or the absolutely, either you one way or the other. Okay. So as I always say, there has to be some repercussions, not just with Young Dolph, but there's gonna be somebody to rise up after Young Dolph in any city. And I can't understand one of the reasons why we're not able to get leaders anymore. We don't have leaders. It's because we get, our communities get jealous and knock them down. The white man goes behind. Well, then it's gonna be some damn repercussions if you think you're gonna take some money from the white man to knock down a leader in your community. You got to know you can't come back to your street. Now, when these folks get to talking about, I mean, if you want to be militant, that's how you do it. Those are supposed to be the rules. If you ain't taking down no leader and you think you gonna live, you hurting your own community. You are no. You ain't taking down no leaders and you think you're gonna live the same way. What I be talking about when these men be out here messing with these children and doing you know uncivilized things to children. They ain't supposed to be able to walk in these neighborhoods. These dudes talking about we don't need the police. Well, then how come y'all ain't handling stuff like that? Because the men are the leaders. They're supposed to be, right? I know I got up early fussing this morning, but I get to thinking about that. When you start, I think about Young Dolph's son, who is already, intelligent and smart, probably got the mind of his father. So his father left a lot of things behind for him. He decides that he want to start rising up and continuing that. It has to be something in place to ensure. Hell, I don't understand how we always shooting ourselves in the foot for temporary gratification. Cornelius alone ought to be put in a damn straitjacket or something for taking out a damn $1 million, probably gonna be $1 billion man that was really gonna help to put some generational wealth back into the community for 800 damn dollars. Even if they had given them 1 million, that ain't enough. You take all that knowledge and stuff away because a lot of the young men in Memphis, especially if they don't want to go to technical schools and things of that nature, they talented enough to be millionaires as far as the rap producers, stuff like that. So when they get them tied up in these, they want to give them, they make all these nice hits and stuff, and folks want to give them $200 and $300 and buy the whole track when they supposed to be, because they don't even know anything about contracts or getting residuals off of their tracks. And these rappers ought to be ashamed of themselves for how they do them. I bought that, yeah, I went platinum on that track. I gave that little nigga $350, bragging about it. So when you get somebody like Young Dolph that's gonna teach you the recipe, you protect him. You protect him. And if anybody, they weren't supposed to be able to be hitting at him like that. Black youngster them ain't gave a damn thing back to Memphis other than murder and mayhem. You don't let people come and mess with you. Protect the people that help your damn community. And just putting rap into the community ain't a damn thing. Okay. Well, he just a famous rapper. What he do? Do he give back to the people that helped to make him rich? Is he giving back to his community? Because a lot of these little dudes can't even read and write. They can't read and write. Their mamas and stuff couldn't. What's your name? Xavier. How you spell Xavier? A B C D F G Q R. I mean, their mamas and stuff didn't know how to spell their name, so they don't know how to spell their name. So you mean to tell me, Moneybag Yo, that you would, because he's slick too now, that you would send money to put weapons back in the community and not books? Okay, so that's when you start calling the politicians to the table that want to partner with a lot of these rappers, but it's just for a look, right? What the hell you mean? Are they giving anything back? Are y'all partnering to put technical schools? Because see, they took shopping stuff out of schools, because when I was in school, to include junior high school, they had shop where you went and you did carpentry, you had auto mechanic, they had home economics where you was sewing all this stuff. And a lot of people who didn't college ain't for everybody. Who didn't want to go to college, they were so good with doing stuff like that. They got out of high school and graduated and went and started their own businesses. They made sure they stripped that. How come some of these rappers ain't getting with some of these politicians to put technical schools and stuff, Votex and stuff, back into the communities to help to create some generational wealth? So everybody can't be a rapper. Well, then I use my hands. I can do carpentry. I can do roofing. I can do house. All that. But instead, they are bloodsuckers of the community, even if a lot of them are black. But then you help to assist or say nothing about them taking out a leader that's teaching these boys the game so that they can create generational wealth and put money back into the community. Okay. So stuff like that has to be dealt with and talked about. And I think that's what it is more so as it relates to me, especially with this, because I don't make no money off of YouTube. I don't make no money off of here. The money I make is off of YouTube. Okay. YouTube don't pay nothing. So until we can start doing that, and then it's just jarring to me how arrogant, they took that boy out, and how a lot of these people are, and it all comes from jealousy. That's when you know that jealousy is it's sickening. Jealousy is as deadly as the grave. It's as cruel as the grave, where they can take that man down and not have a care in the world, no emotion, no nothing. And they thought they were gonna be okay. You can't be okay when you do somebody like that. It's a darn shame. How can you grow up in a city, even though I don't know, I grew up in Memphis. I don't know everybody in Memphis, but everybody knows somebody, probably have know somebody through somebody else, through one other person, because it's not that big. Okay. If you don't know the person, you got a friend that know 'em. So you should have a connection, more so of a connection to your city. That's why when rappers start making money, they go, "How come they ain't leave their city alone?" Because your heart is in that city. You have a connection to the people. That's why you can identify when somebody is from your city. You go, "That's the same. They talk like me. That's the same slang because your heart is in that city." Okay. So it's hard to stay away when you've grown up there and you got family and stuff there. It's easier said than done. You can go start a life anywhere else, but you're gonna always think about your city. I was thinking about when King Von had left, and he was living in Atlanta, and he was still calling O Block, and he was calling the dudes in O Block when he was on camera. He said, "What's going on in the hood?" He said, "Turn the camera so I can look at the hood." He couldn't get he had grew up in O Block. Even though if he had stayed, he was probably gonna be unalive there if he had kept hanging around there. His heart was still there. Okay. So I think it's a darn shame, that like I said, they was able to take down leaders. Young Dolph could be considered a leader, and we're still shooting ourselves in the foot. And I'm talking about as it relates to our whole community because of jealousy. We trying to knock people down that was probably put in a position to be your help. You get jealous of people because they get promotions and stuff on the job. We get jealous about that when that person might have been put there because your old boss, as long as your old boss was there, you weren't gonna get no damn nothing. You weren't gonna hear about nothing. Okay. But then God promotes a person because that's their position. And through them, you're gonna be blessed. But immediately people start taking their knives on her. Why she get that job and I ain't get it. You can't even halfway don't get me started. You probably weren't qualified for it. But that person might be there to start creating positions to help you to start moving up, and people immediately start taking their knives out to try to take somebody down. Okay. But I also wanted to talk about Will Hernandez Govan, but because I y'all know I got to get out of work this morning. Will Hernandez Govan tell all. Okay. I've been looking at some of the blogs, and people are talking about Hernandez Govan, and they think that he has already told. I don't know. What I do know is I don't believe they let him out of jail for a reason, for no reason. Okay. And as I always told y'all, Hernandez Govan is a little older. Okay. So he's been out there a little longer, so he know the game. Okay. I had always told y'all I didn't believe that Hernandez Govan, because he been around rappers. He understand that it's all self. It's all for self. Unlike Straight Drop in them, they feeling like, he feels like, and although Straight Drop want to tell, they want to, and he really have told, just in another way. Okay. He wants to Hernandez Govan understands that don't nobody give a damn about him. And so yeah, I believe he has told a lot of stuff. But I guess people are wondering, has he told on Yo Gotti? Has he told on Yo Gotti? Has he told on Black Youngster? Cause those would be two of the you know, although I believe it's some more too, y'all. I do. I believe it's some more um that has to be told on too. That will be up there around Yo Gotti and them. I believe it's some more people, that participated in this that egged this on. Just like Mr. N said, some more record execs or some more record CEOs. I say that they call themselves, I guess, CEOs. I think Gotti had been lawyered up. I think Gotti had been lawyered up for a long time because he already knew that this day was coming. It's taken almost 3 years. I think around when Straight Drop and them were I think when Straight Dropping them, when Govan told them that the police was onto them, I think they really started lawyering up then. And have y'all ever wondered why down in the course of 3 years, at one time Black Youngster was putting out albums, it seemed like every day. But why Black Youngster put out albums and then he don't do interviews? He don't go and do interviews and stuff. The way that you promote your albums, Gotti probably have him go do an interview now. But that show is risky. You have to sit there with him. You do albums. You put out albums, but you don't do interviews. Why? Um, Black Youngster was always known for his flamboyant personality. He was goofy. He was all of those things, right? So he was more playful. He loved being on interviews. Why he ain't go do no interviews since this happened to promote his album. Any of his albums. He didn't put about out he put out seemed like Black Sheep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. But he ain't did no promotions as far as doing interviews and going to the radio stations for Nan, as they say in Memphis, not now. Lynn says, Miss T, Govan wise enough to know that every man for himself. Everyone knows that he had nothing to gain from unalive young dog. That's true. He sure ain't had nothing to gain. As I always said, I never felt like he was the mastermind, or I don't think he paid for the hit either. Well, we knew that. Said had a rack. But will he tell all? I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think he got no issues with telling it all. Everything that he knows. I absolutely don't believe he do. Um, yeah, you guys make sure y'all like and subscribe, okay? Hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Good morning, True Aquarius. You all hit the like button for me. The Lord, this lady sending me a text early, and I mean, she won't give me the opportunity to get out and start my day. It's when you have difficult clients. Um, but we'll go there and tell everything. Hey, I think he's told. I think he's told quite a bit. I don't think he has no issues with it. Govan and I are the same age, so he already knows that he can't do no 50, 60 years. Although what Cornelius say his part was in this unaliving a young Dolph, it was definitely evil. If he did that, that's his part. He did that. He was wrong. But I don't think he's got no issues in telling. I think he already has. And I get to thinking about who is telling on the hits that Straight Drop has done in the past, because somebody is telling. I don't know if it's Govan, but somebody is. Be quiet. I don't know if it's Govan, but somebody is telling on Straight Drop. some hits and stuff. So Straight Drop is gonna have to deal with that, in the end. I wonder though, because y'all know Tennessee, they say he's an old head for a reason. He knows a lot more. Yeah, he knows a lot more. He definitely knows a lot more. But I wonder who is it is it Trayon? Because think about it now. Trayon is in jail, and it appears to me that Trayon, be quiet. It appears to me that Trayon has been cooperating. So if Straight Drop ain't careful, I think they're gonna put him in a position where it's gonna be like a Alpo type situation. I just believe that's how it's gonna turn out. And he gonna be looking at, because like I said, Tennessee still has the death penalty, and they gonna corner him and put him in a position where he gonna be looking at the chair, okay? Because like I said, somebody is telling on all of his bodies, and it's got to be somebody that has been close up around him that knows. It was quite a few of those little dudes that's in jail that was around them, so it could be any of them, you know. It could be any of them. I think Cornelius knew stuff that was limited. I think the mistake that people make is thinking that because somebody is on pills and stay high all the time, that they ain't paying attention, that they're not a threat. They be paying attention when you think they high. Okay. And it's a lot of stuff that I believe Cornelius knows, because he said that he's gone to the club with them several times. He hung around him and stuff. If that's where he was getting his supply from, of course he hung around them all the time. Okay. ET, what's bag talk? What's that? Y'all know I don't know what bag talk mean. What y'all? Somebody tell me what bag talk mean. It said, "Girl, you bag talk." What's that? Dominique says, dock workers on strike gonna mess up my trucking business. Okay. So it could be any of them. It could definitely be any of them. But one thing we do know is that somebody is talking. It's weird that even when Trayon goes to court, you don't really hear a lot about that. You don't hear a lot about that situation in Covington. But I do remember that the children of the people that was of the lady that was in Covington, okay, that was in Covington. I remember them doing an interview on the channel, okay? And when they did an interview on another channel, the person asked, did they, about did they think that Covington, their mother's unalive, and was related to the Young Dogs case, and that young man said yes. That was over a year ago, I do believe. He said yeah, and it could have been in the sense of the car, definitely the people and all of that. Okay, could have been in the sense of the car and the people and all of that. Says Miss T Straight Drop going to be classified as a serial K, and most likely going to get the DP from the other charges that's pending. Yeah, he got some more charges pending, and you heard Paul Hagerman say there are two more felonies that he has been directly implicated in. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what bag talk is, love. Um, he says, y'all know y'all have to hit me to this slang because I don't be knowing. I know some slang, but it changes up because y'all know I'm old school. When I still call weed, I still call weed, or I remember when they called it bud, chronic. I don't know what they called it now. I think they be calling it gas or something. I can't wait to hear more. I call it a joint still, a joint. I can't wait to hear more about the Miami meeting. So are they saying that that's where everything took place at? Because I thought that they said the meeting of the minds happened at Privé. Yeah, reefer. My grandma and them used to call it a reefer. Um, I thought the meeting of the minds happened at Privé. I don't know though. Maybe it did happen. I don't know. I keep hearing people talk about Miami, but I thought as it relates to them all meeting up in June, I thought it happened at Privé, but I don't know though. I am definitely out of touch when it comes to stuff like that because I don't smoke no weed and stuff. All they call it Zaza. ET says, I wonder why if Gotti phone records were searched. I wonder if Gotti phone. Well, I can remember. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I can remember one like this stuff was tearing Gotti up at one time when he was posting all the time. He would post over in the middle of the night. And this is like right after it happened, like early 2022. And I remember one time he posted thinking about getting rid of all of my cell phones will decide in the AM. So he knew something was going on then when he was sitting up talking about getting rid of his cell phones. These people been knowing what was going on because they had been getting visits. Now, if you listen to Yo Gotti, remember like last year on Young Dolph's birthday, he put out an album. He put out an album, and the album, he was on one of the songs. He was talking about while he was at the awards with Glow, the feds were watching him. The feds don't just decide to just watch no anybody. You know what I mean? They don't just decide to do that. Okay, I do know that well, I can't say I don't know, as you know, but they don't just decide to watch anybody. They have to be watching you for a reason. And I think that was a mistake. I think he wanted for the feds to know, yeah, haha, I got people around me that know when y'all watching me and all of that. They make the mistake of thinking that their money because they buy security that may have been in the military or whatever, X this, X that. They want the feds to know, yeah, we know this. I don't know when people gonna realize that, they can't beat the government. One thing you don't ever want is for the federal government to ever take an interest in you, especially if you're doing some illegal stuff. That's something you never want. Because if they take an interest in you, they're gonna walk you down if you're doing something illegal. You're breaking federal crimes, they're gonna walk you down if they take an interest in it. Um, I think someone that thinks they're untouchable will talk over the phones. Well, Straight Drop was talking over the phones. I hate that God has stood by and let his label be tarnished by all this nonsense. Everyone liked Gotti, and if Dolph didn't want to sign with him, so be it. He got it out the mud. And you heard what Paul Hagerman says. Paul Hagerman just laid it out pretty. Paul Hagerman says that CMG wanted to sign Dolph. Those were his opening statements. That man was laying it out. Everything that we need to know about the future was laid out in the past. This past last week, really, they confirmed everything. He says they wanted to sign Dolph. CMG wanted to sign Dolph, but young Dolph wanted to do it on his own. Those were his opening statements. And you notice he was not just saying Big Jook. He said CMG. I could see if he directly just pointed out Big Jook the whole time. Big Jook is not only CMG. There are people that consist of that label. Gotti must got a lot of yes men. I would have made him fight his own beef with Dolph. Yeah, you know what's so sad is that there was a consistent pattern of trying to take him out, right? There was a consistent pattern of trying to take him out, and the men around him didn't have no qualms about doing it. You're talking about guys and stuff in their 30s and 40s and stuff like that. That was agreeing with this junk when you know darn well they know better. But yeah, they should have. They should have. Now, I can't understand why nobody ever stepped up. And even if they didn't like Young Dolph and say, it ain't worth taking his life. Or, I don't mess with him, but hey, we got a good thing going here. We've connected with Jay-Z or whatever. And we can't we can't let this get messed up. They says, once your Gotti go to jail for Dolph, it'll be justice for Dolph. Everybody, even he don't gotta lose his life, but he can go to jail for life. At Davin, most of the artists have nothing but yes men around surrounding them, and that is why they end up messed up. That's the only people they have around them is yes men. They won't have nobody else around them. And like I said, I can't understand how these men get around them and jeopardize their own livelihoods and freedom and risk talking about we protecting the name and all that, and they got kids. What the hell you talking about, nigga? You got kids. So how you gonna let another man send you out to jeopardize your livelihood to take you away from your damn woman and children? I don't respect no men like that. On day 3 or 4 of the trial, a gang task unit officer took the stand. Don't let that go over your head. He absolutely said that he was a gang task force um leader. You're absolutely right. Supervisor rather. Pay attention, people. When Tams keeps saying something, she's saying something. Just pay attention. Kendrick Moore says Gotti learned straight from watching Birdman. Birdman is known for sending goon squads and trying to take out people. He's the main reason. What did he say? He said it be moving so fast. Okay. Sending goon squads and trying to take out people. He's the main reason Thug is in court. Ricky Johnson says, I'm so happy Gotti went and paid for Cornbread lawyer, and I'm so happy Cornbread said it came from CMG. Cornbread sure said that. Cornbread sure said that. Now remember, I told you all now, and it means nothing now that Rest in Peace Young Dolph. Shout out to Rest in Peace Young Dolph has sent me um a screenshot of some stuff as it relates to Cornelius' sister communicating with people over at CMG, right on social media, and I went and paid attention to it myself. And one of Cornelius's sister does like catering and I believe she cooks and stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, she was doing some catering for Privé. Now, I kind of looked at that. I really don't like to bring up family members and stuff because I don't want people to be vicious because I know family members just that's their brother and stuff. So they'll do whatever it is, their loyalty, unfortunately, even though what he did was wrong, would be to their brother. But maybe they already had that relationship with those people. Maybe they did. I don't know because she's that particular one is in the food business also. Okay. And so I did once rest in peace, young Dawson. That was last year sometime sent me that. Remember I told y'all that there was some type of I might have talked about it in my members. And hey, it could be that maybe they already knew each other. I don't know. So it could mean nothing. But the thing that was very, okay. Anyways, come on now, T. You know what that was about. Yo Gotti wanted the title, the King of Memphis. That's what this was all about. But he's still not the King of Memphis, even in Darwin. Now he ain't. He never. Listen, I was really surprised when people was talking about nobody ever considered Yo Gotti the King of Memphis. I thought people were just when this stuff happened with Young Dolph. it was really surprising to me. I never knew any of the street dudes that felt called Gotti the king of Memphis. That was kind of funny to me. I was like, dog, where did it come from? Is that just some internet stuff? Nobody ever considered him the king of Memphis because there was so many other rappers that did their thing that came before him. Y'all know how many? I guess he could be considered one of the kings of Memphis. At one time, he could have been. Because Yo Gotti is talented. I'm not a hater, so I'm not gonna take that from him. He has a distinctive sound. It's a distinctive Memphis sound. His voice, you know it when you hear it. But as far as being called the king of Memphis, no, nobody. That was never what that never was. And so I know people try to throw. I know, but nobody that I know that's even in the street. I got a lot of cousins and stuff that's in the street. They never said that. They never thought it. Even when they talk about it now, they real street dudes. You can't hardly get them to talk about shit. That's how street they are. But you had 8 Ball and MJG. You got people like Tila that really was national. These people were national. Tila had a song that was national. 8 Ball and MJG very underrated, but they helped to they put a whole they made folks think that a whole community was a city of its own. Orange it's Orange Mountain University and all of that, right? But Orange Mountain is a neighborhood, right? Around Airway, off of Airways. Yeah. You had other rappers like Project Pat, Gangsta Pat, um what's the you had the young ladies, La Chat, the other Gangsta Boo, DJ Paul and all of them. You had all of these rappers that really people was already looking is folks still listen to their stuff. So I can understand why you want to. Young Dolph explained it when he was at an interview when they were saying, asking him about being the king of Memphis. He said, "I'm a king, Daddy or a king. Everybody that hangs around me have to carry themselves like a king." The man tried to explain it, but they just hated the man' existence because he was winning. He never said, you supposed to think you're a king. If you don't think you're a king, who is? He said, I'm a king, daddy or a king. All of the little dudes around me have to be carrying themselves like they are a king. The man was basically saying, so I ain't saying I'm better than nobody else, but you need to carry yourself like you're a king. It's a lifestyle. So that kind of lets you know. Yeah, you have Frazier Boy, Court, Gangsta Black, um, what's the guy name? Fly. You had Fly against the Black and Fly did the darn thing. Folks I still be bumping that. Nobody needs nobody. I mean, all of this Memphis sound, people listen still all over the world still listen to that stuff. So for somebody to be getting mad going back and forwards, it wasn't just about that because the man explained himself. You even had Black Youngster. Lord have mercy. Oh, uh, well, I guess if he could have carried himself like a king, he could have been a king. Because I know it. Anyways, because I like Black Youngster's little personality. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Black Youngster, when he would go and do them interviews, especially after my friend told me, she was like, "You know who Black Youngster is, don't it?" I said, "Mm." I said, "The little rappers." Like, yeah, she was like, "That's such and such son." I was like, "Wow." And I knew I had grown up around at an early age around his mother, because I grew up around his family. And I was like, wow, I never knew that because I had not seen his mother since I was about 12. Right. His mother's cousin and I are best friends. Had been we grew up in Clementine together, still is. And I was like, wow. And so it made me start paying him attention. And that was like right before this stuff happened to Young Dog. So I remember paying him closer attention, and he had put out a song, Anything, and I kind of liked it. It was a video a month before Young Dolph was taken out. They scrubbed that video so quick because in the video, I didn't know when he started smiling. He said, I sent 100 shots up through the sky and smiled. They hurry up. The next month, that happened to Young Dolph. I started looking for that video because I liked the video, the vibrancy of it and all. I didn't know he was talking about Young Dolph. They scrubbed that video, but somebody got it on Facebook though. If you're gonna have to look hard, I believe it's I Can Do Anything or called Anything or something like that. The song is still out, but they scrubbed that video. So that's when you know. I mean, they thought that they was being slick, but they made a whole lot of mistakes after but it was never gonna work out for them anyways, because what they did to that boy just wasn't right. It wasn't nothing right about what they did to that young man. So when you don't do things right, it has to come back on you. I would love to have seen these rappers, to have been very proud of. Stop, because when I hear go to other states and stuff, and I hear people go, rapper such and such from out of Memphis. I love that rapper. Loving to see the South get put on and be successful, because I feel like that's why I love what Master P and Baby did. Master P and Baby were bosses, right? They were in New Orleans. New Orleans at one time was the murder capital. They were bosses around that time, and you heard rumors of them having issues with each other, but if they kept it in house, it was not really known. It was just rumors of it. Those two dudes were able to coexist and get their money and put their rappers on, and their sounds were totally different. I mean, they had that bounce music type sound. They had that bounce music type sound because I like New Orleans. Slick be loving that New Orleans bounce music type style. But them dudes got money. They coexisted. When Master P or somebody would win an award, he would get on stage because you would hear about him and Baby not liking each other, going at each other. And then Master P would win an award and get on stage and say, "Shout out to Cash Money from out of New Orleans." Why couldn't that be done? And that would confuse people like, dog, I thought they said they was hating each other and all of that because they were professional businessmen. They understood the bottom line. It wasn't about no emotional nothing. It was just to get some money. Manny Fresh beats have Manny Fresh is one of the ones. I'm telling you, that dude right there is one of the most talented producers out there. I think he was a little underrated because Manny Fresh beats is almost unmatched. I have to say DJ Squeaky is one of a very very talented one. It's a lot of producers and stuff in their beats that are unmatched. DJ Squeaky helped Young Dolph with his sound. A lot of Young Dolph's hits and a lot of other people's hits should be um he should be credited for that. He's in Memphis. I believe he was grown, was from Orange Mound. A lot of them are unmatched. The title King of Memphis don't mean nothing. All it does is put a target on your back. And it shouldn't. It's and Tommy Wright the third. That's right. And Tommy Wright the third also, because he in here. He's a very talented rapper. He came before Yo Gotti. Okay. Tommy, I ain't mean to leave you out. Shout out to Tommy. Tommy be coming into my chat. It says, love that producer. Manny sold his catalog a few years ago, 600 songs for millions of dollars and barely any samples. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So I think it's just a darn shame, that they were taking each other out. You take a man out, and it was just for jealousy. When it all boils down to jealousy, and probably I believe it had more so also to do, especially with the young lady. I know a lot of people say they don't think so. I think that's exactly what it was. Yes, Skinny Pimp. I forgot about that. Skinny Pimp. Skinny Pimp. Um, what's another one too? Thank you, Tommy. Skinny Pimp, and it's another guy from Memphis. Skinny Pimp and Um, it's another one. They said Tommy Wright the third is Grammy nominated too. Did his song with Beyonce, the MF and GOAT. Yeah, Tommy Wright is the bomb. DJ Paul, the best sampler. Yeah, DJ Paul is was awesome. Pretty Tony, that's who it is. Pretty Tony. Get Buck. Had everybody all over the world saying Get Buck. I remember MC Hammer came and did a show in Memphis. I remember that in the early 90s. He came and did a show in Memphis and then went back and stole Get Buck and didn't give Memphis didn't want to give the Memphis their props. So they was on top of MC Hammerhead. He had to finally say that he got that get buck, get buck, get buck, get buck. He got that from Memphis. But he stole it and then wanted to claim it on his own. He started saying it and doing it in his shows and didn't want to give Memphis the props. But they was on top of his head. I remember that. And he had to finally say that he got it from Memphis. They said gangster. That's the reason why I was so upset about what they did to what's his name down in Mobile, Alabama. You know, had that boy sent to jail. That boy was doing something for Alabama. I'm telling you, I know there have been other young dudes to come before him. Y'all help me out with his name that finessed them had sent to jail. Yeah, I said Gangsta Pat. Gangsta Pat was, I believe Gangsta Pat was one of the first rappers in Memphis to be national. And Gangsta Pat is very underrated. They don't give Gangsta Pat his props. He's very underrated. I'm happy that they gave yeah, Brazy. I'm happy that they gave you know, A Ball and MJG a street, but Gangsta Pat was one of the ones that we should credit for also putting the Haven on Black Hat, you know, White Haven. Cause he put the Haven on. So he really should be given some street around White Haven or something. Um, yeah, Honeycomb Brazy was carrying Alabama just with the short time that he got out. That dude was working so hard, he was carrying Alabama on his shoulder. I promise you he was. They said MC Hammer came to the Cook Convention Center and saw the kids dance and stole the Get Buck chant and got sued for it. It says Gangsta Pat was on tour with NW. Yeah, Gangsta Pat was on tour with NWA and was getting ready to sign with Ice Cube, I do believe. Yeah, Gangsta Pat is the man. I like Gangsta Pat music. Ken says, I remember when I did an interview with Gangsta Pat. As a matter of fact, he was the first rapper to come over to my studio that I did a sit down in person interview with. And put it on my TV show. I got it on the vlog too. Um, Dialogue says Gangsta Pat was the first rapper in Memphis to get a major rap deal. He was. And then I don't think that they give Gangsta Pat his props. Gangsta Pat put the Haven on. He put the Black Haven on. So what Gangsta Pat needs to do, they need to give Gangsta Pat a street. Okay, Gangsta Pat needs to get a street. Gangsta Pat got a song that I like. And I think some people have sampled it. What's the name of that song? I Wanna Smoke. I Wanna Smoke. I think a lot of people have sampled that song, and he has another song that I like so much. What's the name of that song? I don't think they get that man his. I remember when Gangsta Pat stayed in. Yeah, Gangsta Pat put White Haven on for real. What's the name of that song? Because I remember when I did a commercial, and I still got that commercial. I haven't put it in rotation. I used his instrumentals. I asked him though. I sent him a message on. I was like, "Can I use your instrumental to produce a commercial that I'm doing?" Um, what is the name of it? Smoke Some. That's the Smoke Some. That's it. I like that song. Shake Some. That's what it's called. Shake Some. Um, and a lot of people, it seemed like to me, have been inspired by that song, but they don't give him his props. Dialogue says, "Oh yeah, blow the whistle isn't nothing but a slowed down version of Pretty Tony's Get Buck song. Lil Jon just straight up took it." right? So when they was talking about Atlanta, shout out to Atlanta. I don't have anything against Atlanta when what's his name? The guy that Janet Jackson used to go with. I can't think of his name. The producer in Atlanta that produced Escape. Y'all know I be forgetting names. Um, when he was talking about Atlanta was the new black Motown, I was like, damn, Memphis been that. And I'm serious. Shoot. I mean, New Orleans. I be, I'm slick and low with that bounce music, bounce be rapping over that. Um, Dub JJ says, "I'm the Gangster" by Project Pat was a hit. Yeah, it was. Pat album cover was Walter Simmons though. Oh, was it? I didn't know that. Because he talked a lot about Whitehaven. Um, I'm the Gangster by Gangster Pat. Yeah, Gangster Pat don't get his props. Shout out to Gangster Pat. Um, it's only one Motown, Detroit. I hear you, Dominique. I know you're from Detroit. Detroit is underrated too. I mean, there were a lot of hits produced out of Detroit. Um, let's see. Memphis has Stacks and High Records. We good though. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. So it wasn't any need. Memphis always had an acquired sound and had a lot of rappers that was, that was just that is talented. Still is. These boys is talented. Um, those were some good cities. We was rocking BK and Fila, hitting Crystal Palace. Yeah, that's so true. I remember I liked the Crystal Palace skating ring. I wish that, but they had to close it down, I think, because of, they started it wasn't a place to go to have fun anymore. That would be a nice place for kids, but instead they turned it into something else where they was shooting all the time. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I told y'all, you right, Ray Brown. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I remember I told y'all DJ Paul grew up in Twinkletown, right? So when people I don't know, because DJ Paul and them were already living in Twinkletown when we moved over there from South Memphis. So I don't know if they had came from North Memphis. I don't know where they came from. I just know that his father had a successful pest control company. And his father had I think his father and his brothers had once been in a successful gospel group called the Bogart Brothers or something. And I remember like Paul and Ricky, that was Lord Infamous or Infamous Lord, whatever his name was, because Ricky was always really quiet. He never said much. He just always kind of followed Paul, right? Paul was the leader, okay? And they used to come around there and stuff in our driveway, be tripping with us. Y'all know Paul was always crazy. And I remember at that time Paul had started just DJing and stuff like that. And so I remember Paul and them said Paul was excited. He was like, he was going to Gangster Pat had agreed to get with him and start helping him. He was very excited about that because that was around the time that my cousins and them was real excited. Gangster Pat had dropped the album and they loved that song Shoe No Narcs. I remember that they was walking around my auntie house rapping that song. It was like a little dude from out of Hillcrest dropped that song. I think Gangsta Pat went to Hillcrest or something. It was called Shoe No Narcs. Okay, because they was out in the street. They love to hear some shit like that. Shoe No Narcs. Okay, and so I remember Paul being very excited about Gangsta Pat saying that he would get with him and help him. So he started hanging around um Paul. So Pat. So Gangster Pat. I didn't even know who Gangster Pat was other than hearing my cousins and them talk about that song, walking around talking about shooting on narcs. Y'all know shooting on the narcotic police officers. So I guess they was mad because don't get me started about my cousin. Yeah, I think he went to Hillcrest. Hold on, y'all. It went good yesterday. I didn't see much movement other than his mother and maybe his little sister. I'll be back out there today though for a while, a long while. I'll send you the contract before I leave. Oh my. I got pictures and video. They said that song "Shooting on Narcs" talked about the corrupt cop Jack Owens that took out himself and Frazier back in the day. Wow. Why had none of these rappers thought about pouring some money into revitalizing Stacks? I think what happened was Gangsta Pat probably got a bad Gangsta Pat was, as he explained on when he came and did an interview with me, Gangsta Pat explained, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Gangsta Pat was one of the was the first, because I thought when people was talking about, these secret societies and stuff. I remember I asked Gangsta Pat, is this stuff true that people be talking about that they be doing in the record industry and all of that? And he was like, yeah, that stuff true. That he said that, I mean, I guess it's been happening way back when he was doing some stuff, when he was rapping in the um he said Gangsta Pat lives in Atlanta now. He might. I'm not sure. He might live in Atlanta. I don't know. Um Dialogue says the song shooting on Knox talk. Yeah. Was Paul brother already hustling at that time? Craig, I don't know if Craig was Paul's brother. I remember Paul used to have a brother, and it's weird because they all looked alike. It was quite a few of them, but he used to have this brother that used to come to that house that had a Corvette, a drop top Corvette. He used to talk about him all the time. He might have called him Craig. I don't know. But I remembered that, and Paul's father and mother was raising Ricky was living in the house with them. And so Paul used to always say, him and Ricky used to always say that they were brothers, but come to find out Ricky was Paul's nephew. Memphis hasn't honored its civil rights icons who brought real. No, they haven't. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of rappers that don't. You got Frazier Boy. He's from out of Frazier. That will be around North Memphis. Um, Tommy, help me out. Who are some of the North Memphis rappers from back in the day? I think Pretty Ricky was from, or is it Pretty Tony? Wasn't Pretty Tony from North Memphis? I think he was from out of North Memphis. See, we ain't even thought about Gotti. Right. Right. And that was my purpose. That was the purpose of me bringing that up. It's been so many before him that could also be considered kings, because all of these rappers kind of stand on yeah, Coops the nigga, Skinny Pimp. Okay, it was Skinny Pimp. It's so many they stand, yeah, Zed Zilla. It's so many rappers. I mean, it's so many rappers that like people like Yo Gotti stand on the shoulders of. Even though he was beefing with 3 6 Mafia, it never got to the point of them taking each other out. But at the same time, 3 6 did win an Oscar. They did. They made a lot of noise. They was national, and people like rappers that came after them around the Memphis area still stand on their shoulders. Although 3 6 Mafia stand on the shoulders of other rappers that came before them. See, that's how it works. So that's why I can't understand why so people was losing their life. They said Frazier Boy first album with 3 6 was a classic summertime song. Um, yeah, Pretty Tony Get Buck. It's still really like an anthem, you know. He told the truth about Gotti. That's why a hit dog hollered. Me personally, I think it had a lot to do with that girl. I was there are a lot of I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's a lot of rappers that came out. There's this rapper, and I promise you, I like his music. He kind of put me in the mind of oh, what's that rapper name? Kevin Gates. And his name is, and I promise you, he didn't because I'm on here, people texting me left and right. He kind of put me in the mind of Kevin Gates. And his name is he was very talented, and I don't think he got any traction at all. And his name is Lord Scar. You have rappers like Rich Lord. Like these little rappers had Memphis sounds. Rest in peace to Rich Lord. I don't know what happened to Lord Scar, but you have rappers like that. They stand on the shoulders of Young Dolph and all of those rappers. As a matter of fact, they might have been around Young Dolph's time. It's just that you know, they didn't get a lot of traction, as much traction as Young Dolph. Technically, Isaac Hayes was the first black man to win an Oscar. 3 6 was the first black group to win an Oscar, both from Memphis. Ray Brown says, 50 stand on Diddy head over a baby mama, always over money and females. I agree. I'm gonna tell y'all, there's this rapper named, I was looking at an interview that he did. It just happened to come up into my algorithm. And his name is he used to be with um Rich Lord and the little guy that's signed to Moneybag Yo Casino. His name is Cash Cabina or something. Cabina Cash or something. I just happened to click on that interview because I remember they did that song, and I like that song. They did a song about Shy Glitzy or somebody, him and Rich Lord and Casino, right? And so that's around the time that they first had shot at Dolph. I guess in North Carolina, and they asked him about it, and he was like, "Well, you could tell he didn't want to get in it, but he was like, they asked him about if he was signed with a label pre or CMG, and he was like, I would um signed with Pre or CMG. It didn't matter to him. It was about business. But they asked him about that beef with Gotti, and he was like Gotti and Dolphin. He was like he didn't, he liked Gotti. He respect Gotti a lot, but it didn't make the city look good to be beefing. Going that hard. Doing that about fighting over a girl like that. So, I mean, even back then, a lot of those artists and stuff knew what it was, and I believe that was jealousy of that man constantly getting money, and that girl is the core of it all. Good morning. God bless you and your family. Thank you, Mega Meals. Don't play with me. Did it? That's what it was. Don't play with me. It's so sad because Yo Gotti is very people love Yo Gotti's music. They still listen to his music. He ain't, I mean, he is talented. He is. He is. They said Al Green, King of Memphis, and Isaac Hayes. Big Motor. Rest in peace to Big Motor. I said Against the Black. I said him and Fly. DJ Paul have an Oscar and 3 Grammys. All for nothing, bruh. Yeah, it was all about nothing. It never should have happened. And so as a result of all of this happening, it caused a city to divide. Before, it was more so a North Memphis, South Memphis, when I knew about it, a North Memphis, South Memphis competition, like they were more competitive, right? But it says Slayer for Gangsta Stone, Big Motor. But since then, you know, all for nothing, bro. Gotti and Dolph got hits. Yeah, they both got hits. They do. Tyrese Maxwell, Criminal Maine. One love to Memphis. I'ma always show love to y'all and respect Memphis talent. Stay solid and rise above the chaos. Hopefully, because they can. It's sad, like when the only thing about it is when you start when blood is lost, then it's hard to come back from that, right? So these little dudes now, there is a war going on now, but it ain't just in North Memphis and South Memphis. It's all over the city of Memphis. Unfortunately, these young men have been forced to choose a side, and they're unfortunately taking each other out, and that's what's sad, and that's what I can't understand about these rappers when they're older. They do immaturely do these things, right? And then now what happens is the young dudes that are left in the city that cannot get out of the city, they're the ones that's losing more blood. Now, I'm not naive. These little dudes and stuff had already, it was stuff going on before that. It had gotten very bad. But it seems like when that happened to young Dolph, it got worse. People basically really just had to pick a side. I'm talking about these young guys because a lot of these older dudes that were out in the street didn't whether they was in North Memphis or South Memphis, they didn't really get into that junk. Good morning, Miss T. Have you seen what Kenny Money? I saw what Kenny Money said yesterday. Kenny Money and them said to they sent out something to Rollo. I think it was to Rollo. Um, Kenny Money had said for to stop, for Rollo to stop. Hold on, let me see if it's still up. He says, he said all playing clickbait or whatever that S is in the name of my nigga. It only lasts so long. It's real. Sweat and tears behind Dolph. Y'all want whatever it is y'all want, but y'all ain't trying to get no straightening about my nigga. Quit speaking on situations with them folks on the other side because it ain't a game. If anybody know young Dolph, he don't give a damn what nobody else doing or who effing with who. Let my nigga rest. If you love Dolph, love him, hold his legacy, but quit speaking on beef, quit speaking on street shit unless you on dirt, cause we the ones gotta face it later. And he added Rollo and DJ Academics. Oh wow. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. See, I've been hearing about, Boosie and Rollo going back and forth with each other. I've been hearing about that. I have been hearing about. I don't know what DJ Academics been saying because I haven't been really looking at DJ Academics. I've been hearing that um, Rollo and Boosie has been going back and forth because Rollo. I haven't really paid attention to it though. Rollo was mad that Boosie took a picture with Gotti or something like that. I don't know. I don't know though. I think Rollo loved Dolph. I don't. What y'all think? I hate when people not in war instigating. Big Pass says people outside the city don't know this is real. And Kenny Money was on point. Yeah, he was on point. Evidently, they feel like he's doing it for clout chasing or whatever. I don't know. You all make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Okay. Please like, share, and subscribe for me. Y'all be having to get on early when I have to get out and work. So speaking on Memphis business, Rollo, it's Rollo more than Boosie. He wants Boosie respect. Were Rollo and Boosie friends? Even when Fly and Paul was beefing, they kept it with the music for it. Right. That's the reason why I can't understand whatever made CMG ever believe that it was okay for them, y'all. It had gotten to be too much. He said my kickboxing class. I'm going to that today too. I'm going to that today too when I finish working, Tommy. Some of y'all need to um the kickboxing class I go to getting ready to do kickboxing on the lawn. It's the kickboxing. I go to the one in South Haven. Let's see. They do it every fall, kickboxing on the lawn. If he's not directly involved, it's definitely done for clout. Tabitha says Rollo said Dolph took care of his family when he was locked up, but I still think he's clout chasing. No, y'all. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Um, because Rollo seemed to have been genuine, when he was talking about Young Dog. He seemed to have been. That's true, Tara. You're right. Um, is it Rollo said Dolph took care of his family. Tara, I agree with you. That just kind of slipped. Um, Leo says Boosie called Rollo a snitch, and Rollo asked to have a sit down with Boosie like men. Yeah, I believe people genuinely love Dolph. I do too. And believe it or not, a lot of people love Gotti around Memphis. A lot of people, when it was his time, they genuinely loved him. Rollo not cloud chasing. He not hurting for no money. I mean, I can understand Kenny Money and them, but I mean, I, I don't have no issues with Rollo calling out certain people that, because, I just don't. Tyra says the power they could have made together. I agree. They said Rollo cares, but he also sees an opportunity to get his name out there. They said God kept it real with Boosie Mama. Hmm. Yeah, they always. I mean, I. It was always known that Gotti and Boosie were tight. It was always known that they were tight. I think he was signed with CMG. Gotti looked out for Boosie family when he was locked up. Music is better when they are dissing, but no killing competitions. Yeah, competition is good. It ain't nothing wrong with competition. As long as people know how to compete. A competition is really supposed to make you better, but instead they took it to a real dark place. They took it to a real dark place, and that's messed up. They took it to a real dark place. Slayer for Gangsta Stone music is better. Yeah. Tabitha says, I'm from Atlanta and I know he not hurting for money, but don't try to keep the beef going. So do you all think that Rollo is trying to keep the beef going, or is he just calling? So what was Rollo and Boosie initially into it about? Because I'm trying to understand, how did that beef start? Didn't it start from something else? Thomas says, if Dolph and Gotti gone, is the cleanse over with and city back to normal? No. Because you gotta know, when you start losing blood like that, it's too much that has happened and too many people was brought in. That's why I said I hate that they brought all of these little dudes into that beef. These little dudes had bright futures and stuff. Unfortunately, they didn't just sign them and let them rap or whatever. They signed them and manufactured them into this beef, which is what got me pissed off. That never should have happened. If you see these little dudes genuinely got a talent, you sign them and keep them clean. Make them stay on track as it relates to the rap. Like even with Lil Boogie or Big Boogie. Now, Big Boogie is signed to CMG, but for the most part, people still like Big Boogie. They don't really affiliate or associate Big Boogie with the beef, even though he is a CMG rapper. People don't associate Big Boogie with that beef. Not at all. It says Boosie claimed Rollo snitch in his drug case. It was about Boosie calling Rollo a snitch. Oh, okay. Boosie called Rollo a snitch. Oh, okay. Dialogue says Rollo might not be trying to keep the beef going, but Memphis is still Memphis. If you're not from the city, you can't speak on Memphis street politics. Big Pat says Gotti put the battery in black youngsters back, way back in the gap. And that really kick a lot of it off. Yeah, because you hear a lot of people say that they didn't care for Black Youngster's style of rap, but Black Youngster had a flamboyant personality, that made people attract to him, right? He was funny, he would be on interviews, he'd be joking all the time, he'd keep you laughing. That is what people liked about him. And then it's unfortunate that, he was pushed to be in something that made it real dark. Because now when you look at Black Youngster, there's a darkness like about him. There's some type of darkness there. Memphis ain't a city that played like that, never has. So that was definitely a battery put in his back. I hate that. I really do. I really hate that Black Youngster allowed himself to be used like that. Okay, I really do, because if you listen to people that really know him personally, they say he was always just a playful person, silly, a silly willy person. That all of that stuff, that dark stuff that he had going on, that was not even him. He said, he said you tripping youngster got his. Okay, right. But some people like, but I said some people. I said, oh, yeah, I don't know. Some people say they didn't like his style of rap, but G Finley said the youngster got his. Dialogue says Memphis, and yeah, I think he could have had a really bright future. I think youngster could have, because of his how his personality was, he could have really had a bright future in rap and in some of these movies. But he got to pay retribution for what he chose to get into that he shouldn't have. Oh, give her some likes, guys. Show her some love. Thank you, Junior. Y'all hit the like button for me. If you all haven't hit the like button, just take your finger and hit the thumb. And if you see the bell, hit the all. Click the bell so that you can be notified each and every time I come on, and hit all. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel also. So like, share, and subscribe, okay? If it ain't RIAA certified, it ain't a hit. Um, Heavyweight shake something and more. I think Gangsta Pat was the first song to put out Shake Some. And I ain't gonna lie. I think that was Gangsta Pat's the name of that song I said I like, Shake Some. He got that from Gangsta Pat. Black Youngster did Shake Some. Shotty After Hours says Youngster got hits. Okay. There's some Black Youngster fans up in here. CSMC, laugh out loud. So, Shadi, are you a Black Youngster fan, or are you saying if he got hits, you would like to know what hits he got? They say Youngster was hell in the streets. He go by Pig. Yeah, that's what his family call him, Pig. Latasha says Big 30, ain't he signed with Bread Gang? I think Big 30. Oh, that's another situation. Big 30. I saw what Big 30 was had posted. I saw what Big 30 had posted the other day. I sure took a screenshot of it. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I said Moneybag them better watch Big 30 because Big 30 gonna end up doing something to Moneybag if he ain't careful. Let's see. Here it is right here. He says, stop holding my music. Let me drop mines the same way. All I ask is let me drop whatever I want to drop. On Nunu, I'm shattering shit. And he says, and of course, you don't know nothing about no gangster shit. You never participate in it, and you ain't never seen me in no, and you ain't never seen me in no car, cause you ain't never been in one to see. Dig a little deeper, niggas. Been lying on wax, squeezing niggas. It's never the ones you think in a car. And quit mentioning the dead. That almost sound like a diss. Now I don't know who he's talking to. He said, quit mentioning the dead. That almost sounds like a diss. And he says, and of course, you don't know nothing about no gangster shit. Did I just read that? You ain't never participated in it. You ain't never. Okay, yeah. So I don't know who Big 30 was talking to. That was the other day. I don't know who Big 30 is talking to, but he kind of throw out shots quite often to somebody. It's got to be somebody. He said, let me drop my music the same way. So he got to be talking to somebody he think ain't letting him drop his music. I don't know. Yeah, food is about to be very high. I agree. He all right. I don't think he has hits though. That's what Shotty says. Shake Some is a radio version of Gangsta Pat's song. Smoke Some is the real version. Okay. 30 talking about Moneybag. He dropped this song on his new albums. He dropped a song on his new albums. Okay, so he's talking about. I figured he was talking to Moneybag. I thought 30 wasn't signed to Moneybag anymore. I thought he was no longer signed. Lorenzo says, I never understood why artists sign to these guys and won't let them drop music. G Fitness says that new Bag album, Smack and Rap Beef, was about 30. Yeah, talking about Bag when he said his people only ones die T. Oh, so Bag said that about Big 30? Bag said his people the only one that die? Why is Money Bag? See, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Now hold on. I don't know who that is, but I'm gonna have to call him back. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. It says Tamara tell Finesse 2 times to stop crying just because the baby ain't his, but he called himself a pimp. Look like he got pimped. All of a sudden, he looking for attention because he falling off slowly. Finesse 2 times was so talented. Finesse 2 times really did that to himself. If he had just kept doing the music and stop, people start feeling themselves and stopped, um, he said, Lord have mercy. Magname says free Pooh Shiesty. Shout out to Magname. I saw some more people in here earlier. I saw Cypress. I believe I saw Hitter in here. And um I got to call and see what my I gotta it's a couple people I haven't seen in here. When I don't see people in here in a minute, I have to call them. I ain't seen Diane in here. I ain't seen a few people in here. He the one chose to be on the wagon. Um, yeah, I call the gatekeeping when you sign a artist and don't release their music. That's what I was getting ready to say. I was talking about Big 30. It's amazing to me how Moneybag Yo, they said Finesse still good. It's amazing to me how Moneybag Yo still um throwing shots out at Big 30. Okay. I don't think that's cool for Moneybag to do that. I'm telling you, Big 30 gonna do something to him. Because I think Big 30, he trying to torture him with that when all of the time, Big 30 probably already beating himself up because he feel like he got into a beef with Moneybag. Got into a beef with Young Mob for Moneybag. They felt like that they was, being loyal to Moneybag, and Moneybag has given them his ass to kiss. And Big 30 has lost some people behind that, it appears. So Moneybag wrong for that. I think it's a person don't care about you when that's the worst thing you could do to a person when they're being loyal to you or they think that they are, and they turn around and say, I ain't tell you. That's just, y'all know, it has happened to all of us. I can't stand for nobody to do me like that. I cut them straight off. I don't never be want nothing to do with them. When you help somebody and then they say, you didn't have to do that for me. I ain't tell you to do that. You tell this boy that y'all jumped into this beef riding my D when this young man lost his cousin that he ain't over yet. Y'all know he ain't, that tore him up, and he probably feel like I ain't even have to lose my cousin, but I had my folks getting into this beef because according to them he was scared of Young Mob. Now I don't know if that's true. Now that's what they were saying. So that's the worst thing that you could say to a person. And it seems like he's still trying to taunt him with it. So I think, Big 30, I don't know. They according to Stan G, Big 30, they say snorting 30s. I guess I don't know what no 30s are. I thought 30 was a beer or something. A 30 pack. That's what I thought when they was saying 30, a 30 pack of beer. But they say 30s is some pills. I don't know. So Stan G said he a 30 pill snorting or whatever. I hollered when Stan G said that. And so Big 30 get high one day. He gonna get to thinking about Moneybag, and especially if he see him, he gonna hurt him. So Moneybag do need to stop messing with him like that. Bag on his high horse and trying his best not to get caught up in the street mess with certain artists. But see, here's the thing about that. Bag and them, they get these dudes to crash out and get these dudes at war. They get them to do their dirt. And then once they are okay with it, they get what they want. They want to just throw these little guys away. And they left to pick up the pieces. These little dudes got to start making better decisions because they old enough to know better. But bagging them should be ashamed of themselves. They said Bag, no, he ain't like that. They said pills 30 milligrams. Oh, okay. Anyways, y'all, what time is it? It's 9:30. I gotta get ready to get out of here. But I appreciate you all getting on. Y'all, we probably gonna be getting on early for because when I get home, I'll be so sleepy and tired. For the next, probably, I know for the next couple months, they the fools to throw their freedom away for niggas that use them for crack. That's exactly what they use them for. That's exactly what they use them for, and it's so sad. It's so unfortunate, right? But that's exactly what's going on. This past weekend, you guys, I was supposed to be there. I forgot. My auntie, y'all know I told y'all that my dad was raised up in North Memphis until he was 17. Um around Smoky City. Around Smoky City. So my auntie did a community block party this past weekend, and the mayor came out, the police chief came out. They had a lot of different organizations out. They had free food. It was at one of those community centers in North Memphis. They had free food. They had people there to check your blood pressure, to check your blood sugar, all of that stuff. Yeah, shout out to South Memphis. Yeah, I love South Memphis. I grew up in South Memphis. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Anytime that if I'm going down like Elvis Presley, who from Smoky City? I'm from Smoke. My dad and them. My dad grew up in Smoky around Smoky City. He says truth teller. Listen, every time I go past that, how was that barbecue over there at Smoky City? Every time I'm in that area and I go past that barbecue shop, I almost be tempted to stop. I go, I wonder how that barbecue tastes. How does that Smoky City barbecue taste? He says, I'm from Smoky City. I'm from Smoky City myself. Ayers Looney Pierce. Okay. They said free FN YFN Lucy Lucci. Yeah. But every time I go down Elvis Presley and I'm going that way, I don't know, I always start going down like taking like the sometimes I'll go like down turn on Kerr and go down to South Parkway and kind of, you know, just go and look at some of the areas. I actually never ate there at the barbecue spot. I've been saying I'm gonna eat there for years. um I think I'm gonna stop there one day and give them some business. I think that's a black owned business. I think I'm gonna stop there and support them because when I'm in that area again because I be tempted when I ride past there. Sometimes I'm like, how that barbecue taste up in there. You never been to Frost Boss Barbecue, South? I've never been to Frost Boss Barbecue. What street is that on? I've never even heard of it. What street is that on in South Memphis? I be loving some good barbecue spots. I tell you where I will not eat at ever again because their barbecue is so nasty. That's Neely's. I don't know. They say they make their own barbecue sauce taste like straight up ketchup. Mm-mm. No, it sells everything in Kingsgate. Yeah, A&R barbecue is really good. I like A&R barbecue. I like there's a barbecue place called Coleman's. Yeah, I like Coleman's barbecue too. That's in the Whitehaven area. They have some good barbecue up in there. There's another barbecue place that I like so much. Cozy Corners has really good barbecue. Um, Everybody always talking about Rendezvous barbecue. I never cared for Rendezvous barbecue. It wasn't seasoned enough. It was kind of bland. I like their sausage and cheese, but I didn't like their barbecue. Yeah, Cozy Corners is fire. They cakes and stuff be good. I be trying to. I be whenever I have this taste for Cozy Corners and I go in there, I be trying to like, Lord, please don't let me, because their cakes be freshly baked. I was like, Lord, please don't let me buy no cake. Please don't let me buy no cake. It's hard to go in there and buy that buy a barbecue sandwich and not buy a cake. The rap game not built off stand up citizens. Now you're right about that level up. You're absolutely right. Pollards, I've been in there. Pollards is good. Yeah, Pollards is good. I've been in there too. Rappers doing just what they rap about. It's sad though, that rappers feel like, if I'm not gonna sell records if I'm not out here doing what I rap about. So I got to be out here taking people out, and so that's where the community comes in at. That's where we have the power to control that as the consumers. Okay, so if you're gonna be out here rapping, doing what you rap about, you ain't gonna make no money. So, I mean, when you don't like what people do, you pull back your resources. That's how every other community gets to control the narrative. If I don't like what you do, then you ain't getting ready to get no business. We're the only community to let people bring vitriol and poison into our communities, and we drink it consistently and wonder why we died. It says Rendezvous ribs got no meat. Blue City better. Blue City ain't that good to me either. They hamburgers good though, but Ray Brown says, I'm taking notes for when I come to town. You ever been to Tom? Yeah, Tom's has really good barbecue. Tom's is always too crowded. I can't. I don't be want to sit and stand in Tom's. But they say it's got a new owner and that the food is not as good as it once was. Um, Cartrail says, have you tried KC? Yeah. Oh my God, my mother loves KC's. Oh my God. When I go over to her house on a Friday, the first thing she's gonna say is, "You want to go down there on Third Street and get some KC's?" I'm like, Lord, they grill their shrimp fried rice. They grill it. And whenever I get some of their shrimp fried rice, or I'll eat their shrimp fried rice, because normally when I eat fried rice from a restaurant, it's gotta be vegetables. I don't want no meat. But with them, I'll eat, the shrimp, because when I get it, I don't mean no harm. When I get shrimp fried rice, well, I don't eat the shrimp fried rice from a Chinese restaurant, because when I used to buy it in the past, the shrimp looked like little toes. And I'm serious. The shrimp look like little toes. I had never seen no shrimp look like that. So I don't eat no meat from the Chinese restaurant. But when I get it from KC's, I eat the meat. Cause you're gonna get tested on road or fans with speed mo eye on controversial rapper and the one got out of jail. Willie Moore's for Chitterlings. Um yeah, I've heard of Willie Moore. Y'all, where is Willie? Yeah, Willie Moore is downtown. Willie Moore's got some good food. I'm telling you, Willie Moore got some good food. I was getting ready to say something. I ain't gonna say it. But Willie Moore's got some good food. Their cornbread muffins his cornbread muffins is so good. Tom's fell off straight up. Used to be the spot. Yeah, Tom's fell off. Yeah, Willie Moore's got some good food. He got good food. His cornbread muffins is off of the chain. It's off of the chain. I'm telling you. I don't know what they put in them, but they good. I'm telling you, they good. I believe they put lemon flavor or something in it because the muffins be so good. The flavor of them. Um, who else got some good food spots? Um, You know what? I don't like hot wings. I'll eat them, but you'll never hear about me ordering hot wings. But if when I was working at the PD at the police department, we used to I would eat hot wings because they would order hot wings from BJ's. BJ's got a good sauce on their hot wings. They got a good sauce on their hot wings. Needless is overrated. Needless food so nasty, it don't make no sense. I don't mean no harm, but it's nasty. They got rich because, they had that show on food on the Food Channel or whatever. That was a good source. It's not needless. I'm gonna tell you something. Needless food is for people who like bland food, who don't like seasoning in their food. If you don't like seasoning, if you like bland, that's where you eat at. Now, it's a lot of people like their food, but not a lot of people that like seasoning in their food. I don't even know how they got a show. I don't even know. They said Willie Moore is related to activist Stevie Moore. Okay. Stevie Moore be doing this thing out in the community. All Stars. I've never been to All Stars. I've never been to All Stars. Is that Rick Ross's wing place? All Stars. Basically, if you got high blood pressure, go there. Right. Anyway, y'all, I gotta get off of here because I gotta work. I gotta get out and work. But I appreciate you all getting on with me this morning. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get on tonight because when I get home, I be real tired. So I'll probably try to do some videos later on today. I will when I get home. But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe if you would like to support the channel. You could definitely support the channel via Cash App. You all be safe. Be safe while you're driving. Watch your surroundings. Ask God to go before you if you got to go to work on your jobs. I pray that God makes the highways and the byways safe for you so you can get back home to your family exactly the same way you left. I said lost the same way you left. Be good, be wise, and be good to yourselves. Okay. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.